Hello, everybody. Welcome to the relationship party. And man, do I have a treat for you all. Today, I have in the studio with me Miss Minna Matthews, and she's the author of the book Fatherless, A Mother's Guide to Raising Strong Black Men. Welcome to the show, Minna.
Thank you so much. I'm so blessed and happy to be here.
My pleasure, my pleasure. First, I want to say that your book is so needed, and it's been needed for decades, right? Um, and it's such a great, impactful, thoughtful topic about raising a strong Black man because women have been doing it for so many years now. What made you write this book?
Mm. Well, it was just I came to an awakening period last year of just like moving into my purpose and coming out of that place of darkness and depression of all that I've been through. And I'm just like, I write me like I come from a family of writers. We just kind of been sitting on that gift. So I'm like, I just need to talk about what I experienced because that is a accomplishment to be able to raise a man or raise a boy into a man with no help from a father figure and to raise him and he's not a murderer or gang banger or none of that stuff. He's just like a respectful young man, and that's what I'm like. I just got something to say. Like I can't just be quiet about it no more. It's people crying and going through it that don't understand how they gonna get through and think they can't do it. Like it is difficult, but you can do it. You can. You got a grace to do it. If you got them kids, you can make it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't think anybody wants to do it by themselves, right? A woman can't do this. A woman
Mm-mm.
can't teach a
Right.
man, a boy how to be a man. We understand that because we've never been one. However, when you're a single parent, you find the best way that you know how. And what I want you to share
Right.
is in our community,
Exactly.
what have you seen? The absence of the father, especially in a young man's life, what are some of the impacts that you have seen? Because I want people to know
Mhm.
that it is a big deal when a dad is missing.
It definitely is. And from my own experience with my son, because he is now 24, like he's been because I kept him in church and everything, but some of the things I did experience, like for instance, once when he saw his sister's dad coming to pick him up when he was like 4, and he was just looking and so sad, and he was like, I wish he was my dad. I wish such and such was my dad. And
Wow.
that like just really just broke my heart. And I just noticed that like he just was like things that he could have learned from having a like his father figure in his life to really just impart in him, like his sports, like just knowing who he is, like like who do I identify with. Like I know I'm a guy, but why am I like this? Like I know that's my mama. The things you pick up on from being around like minded, like I'm a male, that's a male. All he known is his mama taking him to the barber shop, his mama doing this and that. Like he never got that. So what I saw from him is just like his insecurity when it comes to I'm gonna go for that. Like I know who I am, that identity that a man forms, knowing his purpose, knowing like having that confidence, like, okay, I wanna do this and that with myself. That's what I have saw with my son. It's like a confusion, it's like a missing identity, a missing piece of himself. Like, okay,
You know,
trying to form his purpose and his identity and picking up on his friends, thinking like, okay, maybe I can do it.
well, Mina, first I
Mhm.
want to say thank you so much because I think that when you share that, so many of us have felt that and watched our sons miss something at one point or another for those of us who were single parents at
Yeah.
one time, right? Because I was a single parent at one time. And I like that you do a mother's guide
Yeah.
because we're the one carrying the weight at that time. And we don't know what, look, we barely know how to be parents, let alone,
Absolutely.
right? Try to cover,
You hear me?
you know,
Woo.
for both sides, right? So it is tough. So again, I want to commend
A
you for
boy
writing that
trying
guide.
to raise something that we, because God never designed.
No, go ahead, Mina. What were you saying?
Okay. Yeah, we getting a little, but it's okay. God gonna get the glory. I was just saying because God never gave us, like, we never was designed to have to carry that weight alone. As far as raising kids, raising boys, like it is a need there for, even if it's like some reason, because some people don't, they become a single mother, maybe the father passed away or they divorced, whatever. Everybody's situation
Right.
ain't the same. As far as like it be somebody that's just not a good father because of whatever he experienced in his life, so he don't have the capacity to even really father another person because he need fathering. But if somebody, like, that's why they say it take a village to raise a kid. Where's the village at then? Like, because I have definitely, like, that's why you see them boys out from the hood where they out there shooting, robbing, sleeping with everybody, making babies from all over the city and in the neighborhood, and not able to provide or not even being a father to them because they, like I say, they don't know how, but they making them. That's where we see the lack of having the fathers in the home, as we see those results where the girls not having a father, then they out there, they don't know their identity, they sleeping around, they think they not beautiful, they think that all they is a piece of meat. They ain't never had no father to tell them, like, you smart, you beautiful, you don't need no man to tell you beautiful because I told you first, like, you valuable. Like, the fathers is missing. Like, we need that authority from a father, and if it ain't the birth father, it's a man that is after God's own heart, that still ain't no pervert, that can still speak into a child's life and help to raise them up, because it's a blessing in that. It don't gotta be your girlfriend or your little freak. Just do what God called you to do to another person and just raise another generation up. And that's what's gonna heal this land.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And I love that because we do need to heal the land. I had another interview earlier today, and we were talking about another topic, but family related. And it's time to
Hmm.
heal. Like so many things. Now, this is
It
decade. Now,
is.
we're starting to see the results of decades at this point, since we've been
Woo,
alive
tell me about
anyway.
it.
But now we're at a
Hmm.
point we have more information, we have more ways to
Exactly.
distribute information. We now know how to manifest things. We all learning so many things. It's time to start healing. So I agree with you on that. Now let me ask you this. In your book, you talk about advocating for your son. Tell us a little bit about how
Yes.
moms could advocate.
Okay, for sure. So I had an incident with my son when he was like in the, I want to say maybe sixth grade or fifth, I don't know, fourth, fifth, like, elementary. And like I used to be getting calls from his teachers all the time. We was in like I want to be careful what I say, but just not a all black environment. I'll just say that for a schooling, and they'll be calling just about everything. And it's all female teachers, like, yeah, Jacoby, oop, I said his name, but he did this and he did that. And then I would just automatically, get to disciplining and like beating his butt, like, you don't do that, acting up at school and everything. And then it was like I just got the intuition, like, stop doing that. Like, you need to start asking him questions about what's happening. And then it's just like I come to realize, like, they just a different, like, women and men speak different languages. So what they perceive as like, oh, he's doing the most or he doing this and that, is really wasn't even the case. And so I had to stop doing that and go kind of talk to the teachers, like, okay, um, and kind of just advocate, explains, instead of letting him be the bad guy and paint it as that, and then he get in trouble at school and treated different, then get home and get open because of what somebody else said about him. So that's kind of like that's an example of advocating. Like, listen, don't always just like take what the teachers or principals and stuff say. Like, kind of investigate, talk to your child, let them know you still are smart, you still intelligent. Don't like, because they already get it out there. So when they come home, like, find out what's really going on, listen to what they got to say, and then go talk to have them conversations like, hey, not the kind where, oh, my son or didn't do this. No, not that kind, but just kind of like, maybe you got to bridge the gap because this is your child that you raising and you know him, and the teacher got to deal with him 8 hours a day as well. So we got to come together as like kind of like co-parents and figure out how we can both make sure that he's the best at school and at home. Like, I gotta help you to teach, and the teacher maybe help me parent a little bit. Like, okay, if you help him with this and that, he'll be better when he comes to school. That's advocating.
I love it
Hmm.
because, and thank you for bridging that gap on, no, not the, oh, my child didn't do that, right? Coming,
Right.
to
We get that all
advocate
the
and
time. Woo.
find that, yes, absolutely. Because some will flip from one side, like you said, not
Mhm.
listening, to
Sure.
the and to beating, and you need to just behave. And then the other one is just, my child didn't do that. And too much of anything is no good. So like
Hmm.
you said, you gave that perfect medium
Right.
on, go talk to the teacher, see what's going on. Now I have to
Hmm.
tell you, my youngest son was that kid. Who was he, that kid, girl? And I
Hmm.
remember I went to the school and he was in the teacher's class. And I said, let me sit in the class and see what's going on. And she sat in the class, and
Hmm.
there was another uh, color student in the back, and he was banging on a computer. And the teacher kept saying, I'm going to count to 10.
Got
And
you.
she actually counted
Oh,
to 10. I said, oh, yeah, my son in the wrong class,
oh.
lady. My son will drive you crazy. Let me find one of these older teachers. I went to the principal,
You hear
got him
me? Them
switched to
old
one of
school
them
teachers.
old teachers. And she was an old white teacher that will pinch your arm. Honey, she had him under wraps. Do you hear me?
Mm.
So you are right
Ah.
about advocating.
Mhm. Yes. And also, I mean, it could even be in a sense, even with their dads and stuff. Like, even if, I mean, they might have a dad and he's just not that active. Like, you can advocate by, like, if he's the type that be lying to the kid, oh, I'm gonna be there to get you, and I'm gonna take you here, there, and then just leave the kid crying because they ain't never show up. Then they might, you have to have a difficult conversation with that man. Like, look, either you gonna come, like, I ain't gonna stop you from seeing your child, but you're not gonna just be lying and make it like, because that affects and it impacts him. That make him feel less valuable. Like, it's better for you not to come or say you're gonna come if you're gonna say it and then you're gonna lie about it. Like, that's advocating too, because that's a difficult conversation because you don't want to feel like you're withholding him, like withholding the dad from the kid. That's all the kid want. They just want to see their daddy. They want to spend some type of time with them. And then these men just be so acting like they so busy and whatever they got going on, and they just don't take the time sometimes to just spend some valuable time with their sons.
Absolutely. And thank you for saying that, because we need everybody to know, and I'm quite sure people do know, but want to push this home. It takes a village, which is the mom, the dad. Any way you can get some love, keeping them in sports,
Yeah.
church, the what's some Girl Scout?
Hmm.
Well, the boys don't go on Girl Scouts, but you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Some type of organization
Boys and
where they
girls
get,
club.
yes,
The boys and girls club.
so they keep full, right? Keep full and
Hmm.
busy. That
Yep.
sometimes you don't have to miss it, but if you're always just sitting
Yes. Yeah.
around without a lot to do. So Mina, let me ask you this. I know you talk quite a bit about, um, we talk about the advocating. What are some of the strategies? Now, let me ask you this though. We'll go to the strategies, of how to raise a boy if you're a single parent, right? But then I want us to also talk about
Mhm.
some strategies that mom need to do because you really need to be in your best self as well in order to raise
Mhm.
a healthy person. It
Absolutely.
doesn't matter, a girl or
Absolutely.
boy.
For sure.
So what would you say,
So I
Minna,
like I said,
Renee?
I so I definitely have had some a lot of wakening ups as because I'm 46 now. I had my first child at 17, my daughter, and the best advice and strategy I will give to myself as if I was that 17-year-old girl and any young woman or older woman that is raising their kids because it is a depression that goes into it when you don't have what you need to raise your kids like financially and support it from different people. I would say self-develop. Do not sit there and go waste all them years crying and sad and depressed and not making moves, because if you if you have that mindset, then you're in darkness and you are not able to see a light beyond where you at, and before you know it them kids is grown. So you gotta self-develop. What can you do? Like, what's inside of you that can help you to get into that wealthy place so you can take care of your kids. Like we saying now, it's a digital world. It's so many digital products people can put out. Children, quit if you when you get lump sum of money or tax returns and all that. But oh, here go the Jordans. Oh, they want this and that. Invest that into them. What do what have they been telling you they want to? Oh my, I want this when I grow up. Oh, I want to do that. Or you see that something that they like to do, then you invest in that for them, like to make them do something, or so that that can be something that they'll have to grab hold of when they get older, so y'all can break that poverty and lack and all that mentality. Is like time to step out of that. If you waste all that time, oh, he did, and blaming the baby daddy, or just so sad. Yeah, it is sad. It's a sadness, but that's why you got to fight back. You got to fight back by being self-developed. It's YouTube University of you, because yeah, it be money be tight sometimes. So look, you can learn whatever you want to learn nowadays. Look on YouTube. You got to just invest in yourself. That's the strategy. Invest in yourself and self-develop to figure out, what you can be good at. Because God gave us all something unique inside of us that can make you a multimillionaire. You ain't got to. It ain't got to take forever. You don't got to get to be 46 like me and still, looking back like, dang, what? Like, I wish I would have did this when I was younger. You do it now. You start today. Like, quit. Don't have that. Oh well, who no? Because who said Beyonce and all them can do it and you can't do it? If you said you wanted to be a singer, then you still can be a singer. Who told you can't do it? That's a limiting
Right.
belief. That's limiting what you and your children can do. You don't know what God got for y'all.
You know what? I completely agree with you. And I have to tell you, um, we have six children and, they're all grown now.
Okay,
But
wow.
one of our favorite things to do was we played games a lot. So I love when you
Okay,
talk
that's
about,
good.
I love when you talk about, a lot of parents don't have money. We didn't have money then. Trust me, we didn't have money then.
Mm,
Like we weren't,
either.
you know, no, I guess we were struggling. We were struggling sometimes. Sometimes them lights was blinking. However, my favorite saying, I love Paul's verse where he says, I know how to abase and I know how to be abound. I know how to
And
be hungry
abound.
and I know how to
Okay.
be full.
Amen.
And so when we had money, we could go to Six
Yes.
Flags. When we didn't, man, we were doing poetry nights.
You hear me?
We were doing, one
Yes.
time the lights was out, we was doing Showtime at the Apollo in the dark, girl. I was just making up stuff, right? So again,
Yes.
moms, remember, we make this stuff happen. We make the magic happen, right?
Yes.
Even when dads are there, we are the creative minds of the
Yes.
household,
Yes.
right? We the glue that hold everything together. There's power in that,
Mhm.
right? and get off this social media looking at these Atlanta housewives and stuff is fake.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to be doing that anyway. They got money and they still fighting and bickering. That's just ridiculousness, right? Those who want to take care of our children, it's more, I have rich friends who will tell you more than anything that they wanted was the time. So even when you can
Mhm.
only have game
Wow.
night and play trouble, you can go to the store, it's $12, right? But it's something y'all can continue to play. Those are the things that your kids will
Yes.
remember. Reading a book. Take turns. All right, who reading tonight,
Yep.
right? Let them read a
Yep.
page out of the same book.
Mhm.
So, y'all, we can be
Yes.
creative and build that environment. And then when money hits, you have a family that's whole. But me and my husband understood
Yes.
once I got
Yes.
married, because I was a single mom at first, was that money don't fix broke kids.
Mhm. Oh, that's good. I like that.
So sometimes
Mhm.
we think that's if I just
And as
had
well, like,
no.
mhm. And it's like when the money, I mean, when you, as well, like when you, like you said, I love that about playing the games and things like that. It's like a lot of times I know other women do that too. We be feeling so guilty because of what we didn't have or what we don't have. And then we'll overcompensate when we do, like if you get a tax return or a school check or whatever, however you get a lump sum of money, then you go out just big ball and spending it all up, and then it be gone quick and you ain't got nothing to show for it. So that's why it's like you saying, get into that creativity, because God gave us all a gift to be creative. And like those are the things, like you said, the kids remember, like what can we, because that actually helped their creativity. Like, okay, pretend like you this and that. Because if I just buy you the doll instead of you drawing a doll and making, like, that can like teach you that you're a designer or an artist or something. If I be like, okay, let's play Barbies. I can't, I might can't afford a $30, $40 Barbie, however much they cost, but we can design our own Barbie. Who knows? That could be the thing that hit the market and make just simple things like that you probably would think nothing of could be the thing that make y'all the multi-millionaires. Hmm.
Because that's implanting no seed seriously. And I know, like you said, a lot of times I just want them to
Absolutely.
have what I never had. Okay, then yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not the best route. Some of the most successful
Hmm.
people come from very humble beginnings because they wanted to see something
Right.
different.
With
It gives
material
them the
stuff. Mhm.
drive. When they given everything, they're very, very lazy.
Yes.
Trust me. Okay? Like it take them longer to blossom because they
Please
don't
don't.
need to,
Hmm.
right? So, you know what, Renee,
Yep.
I think this
Yep.
is such a
Um,
great thing for
absolutely.
people to hear right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Because
think
people
this
don't,
is
like. We need to talk about it, because it's like, if we didn't won the championship, so time to talk.
absolute,
you know.
absolutely. So now, Renee, let me ask you this. Also, in your book, as we kind of start to wrap up, and first, let me give the name of your book again, and we're going to give it at the end. It's Fatherless, A Mother's Guide to
Okay.
Raising Strong Black Men. And Renee, where
And
can
then I
people
did a
find your
revision
book?
on it, so it's on Amazon. And I did revision and made and put like a free course in there for your kids to do, for you to do creative activities with them, and just made it a little bit better. But the revised copy is a single mother's guide to raising strong black men alone, and that's on
Okay, I
Amazon.
love that. Give that one more time, Renee.
Okay, so it's Fatherless, a single mother's guide to raising strong black men alone. And I put the
I love
link
it.
in the chat as well.
Awesome. Thank
Hmm.
you so much for that. And before we get out of here, Renee, I want us to talk about those support networks because a lot of times people don't know where to go, right? What would be some of your
Right.
suggestions
Hmm.
as your support networks?
Okay, got you. So top of the list is gonna be church family. Like if you don't go to church, if you're a believer or you don't know what to believe, like you can start like just visiting church and see if you connect with it and connect with because it's gonna be a bunch of other single mothers there. Like that's where I have found a lot of support, emotional support, and just like a second another type of family is in the church. And then I was like school events, like if you connect like your kids got friends, like start talking to instead of being so busy every time you go pick them up. It's like, all right, hurry up, come on, let's go. Start, like connect with your kids, friends, parents, and stuff, and see, how y'all can correlate and become like another family outside of the school, so that you got support and they got support, and your children got support with their friends, so they not only just only seeing them at school because we all like it's people that's going through the same thing and they need support just like you do. And then your friends that's like or mentors, some of them is older, some of them the same age, but like it's like I didn't have all of that though when I was like 17 and everything. I didn't have that. Like I really like I just raised my kids by myself. But these are
And
things that
I like
I know in the church. I did have the church as I got in my 20s. Hmm.
no,
Yeah.
Renee, I was gonna say, and then like you said, you have sports programs, right? It don't have to be sports, reading
Yep.
clubs. There's so many things. So get your local
Mhm.
paper
Mm.
and start to pay attention to different events. Like you
Mhm.
said,
Boys and
there are
girls
tons of
club.
single moms looking for that support. So it's not just you looking, because a lot of times people don't like to ask. You're helping each other.
Right.
Can you imagine switching
Yeah.
off, getting a weekend off because it's four of
Mhm.
y'all and y'all rotate them babies
Woo.
all them
Okay.
weekends? You
Like,
wind up
woo.
having a girl three free weekends. What?
Yes.
Now I know it has to be people that you
Yeah.
trust, but I mean, right? You have to
Yeah.
build the village.
Yeah, because how you gonna know if you don't? Because I'm like, I feel like women, what we do, we'll build that with a man. Like we meet a guy, and oh, I like him, but it's like when it comes to each other, we have a hard time building that if we don't rock with you or know you like that. We don't take the time. You got to build that relationship with a female the same way you do with a male, or whatever your preference is sexual, whatever your preference is. But I'm just speaking of, what I would like. It's
Right.
easier to build it with a man than a woman, but so you got to be intentional about building those relationships with single parents, with other women, or even if they're not single, I'll just say mothers, other mothers, because people get together and they birthday parties and just dip y'all, you don't never know, you got to support y'all, get together and build each other up. Somebody got an ideal. That's a community. You building a community to take. That's a village. You can't do it alone. I mean, you can, but it makes it not. I'm gonna tell you from my experience, make your journey long and hard when you try to do it alone. Like you can do it,
Absolutely.
and I did it, but and I had like my church family, but I didn't. We could have thrived so much better if I would have had that real village that just had that real impact in our lives, you know, especially for my
I
son, because my daughter, we are female, so we can relate to each other.
But I agree. And we building businesses, we're building empires, and now it's time to get back to building our families and our communities. You know what I mean? Y'all, we've been
Absolutely.
chasing the bag. Now it's time to chase our families and our communities, right? I'm not
Huh.
saying forget the bag. I'm
Yeah.
saying now we got a little bit of
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
We got good connections. We building. Let's build our families back. Let's
Hmm.
build our children back. Let's build our
Yeah,
schools
yeah,
back,
that's
right?
okay.
Build
Mhm.
all of that. Go get the
Yeah,
bag to come bring it back to have to try to fix things that you can't fix. I'm telling y'all, it's no good.
right.
So, Monet, I want to thank you so much for
Exactly.
being on the show. I want to commend you again for an
Oh,
awesome
you're
job
welcome.
and taking your time to speak on this topic that is really just plaguing our community. Thank you for having enough compassion
Mm-hmm.
to talk about the mother's guide, something for the mom to help her get through, right? This
Yes.
with good relationships and helping her son, because it is a difficult one.
Yes, absolutely.
Please
It
give
is
everybody the
very,
new title of
very
your
difficult.
book. Yeah. Please give people the title
Okay.
of your book again and where they can find it.
Oh, all right. So it's called Fatherless, a Single Mother's Guide to Raising Strong Black Men Alone. And that's going to be on Amazon.
Well, you know what? Again, I know you're from a family of writers. You keep writing, you keep pushing this agenda, and man, you're going to have so many people who really need this. So, thank you for being a part of the healing process of our
Yeah.
community. And I know sometimes it seems like we're only doing a small part, but
Amen.
if everybody just do a small part, we got the whole part. So, again, thanks to you. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you.
Absolutely. And thank you for having me. God bless you.
All right, y'all. Miss Minna Matthews, book is out. I want y'all to go grab it today. I want y'all to tag some people, give them for gifts,
Hmm.
right? Being a single mom is not easy for
Yes.
anybody.
Yes.
Some may make it look easy, but it's not. A lot of people are tired, they hurting inside, right? So give them
Okay.
the gift of this book. All right? All right.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Miss Minna. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Welcome. Yeah. Amen. Yeah. Amen. Okay. Okay. What you say? I'm sorry.